Question number 1. Find values of a, b, and c so that each of the expressions a squared, b cubed, and c power of 6 has a value of 729, meaning a squared is equal to 729, b cubed is also equal to 729, and c power of 6 is also 729. So you focus first in the given value 729, and notice 729 is divisible by 3. So all we have to do is to divide this by 3. 729 divided by 3 is 243. Then divide again by 3, we get 81. 81 divided by 3 is 27. And 27 divided by 3 is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. Notice the last number here is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 threes. So we just rewrite them here for you to see it. And this in exponent expression, we have 3 power of 6. Again, this is not 3 times 6. It is 3 multiplied or times by itself 6 times. So we have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 729. And notice we have 3 power of 6 and we also have c power of 6. They have the same exponent, 6 and 6. Now since they are equal, all you have to do is to collect the base. So we have 3 power of 6 and c power of 6. You could say that c is equal to 3. Next, same expression. All we have to do is to group them. And we need 3 groups. At first, we have 6 numbers. Now from 6, we are going to group them into 3. So meaning there will be 2 numbers in each group. So that is why we group them. First group, second group, third group. So 1, 2, 3. It seems like this is the exponent. First exponent, second exponent, third exponent. And this is 3 times 3 is 9. Meaning there are 3 nines or 9 power of 3. And that gives the same value of 729. And notice we have b is also power of 3. That is why b is equal to 9. Same with a power of 2. We are going to find the number, or we're going to group them into 2. So that is why there are 3 numbers in each group. So we have 3 times 3 times 3. So 1 group, or group 1, group 2. Or 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Now notice we have 2 27s. And then we can say that 27 squared, or power of 2, is still the same as 729. So 7 squared is equal to a squared, the same exponent. Therefore, a is equal to 27. So finally, a is equal to 27, b is equal to 9, and c is equal to 3. Question number 2. Which expression has a value of 9? So we're going to evaluate these 4 numbers and find which has a value or has an answer of 9. So in this case, we have number 1, we have 7 minus 5 plus 5. You can just combine all positive first. 7 plus 5 is 12. Then subtract to the negative number, minus 3. 12 minus 3 is 9. So here is 9. Question number 2. Start with, remember the PEMDAS. Parenthesis, exponent, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. So we have 27 divided by 3 first, which is 9. Then we can just add 9 plus 12 is 21, minus 4 is 17. Or we could say 27 divided by 3 plus 12 minus 4, which is 8. So 9 plus 8 gives us 17. Number 3, M first. 6 times 3, and that is 18. Then we could also group this one. 63 divided by 7, divide, then we have 9. Finally, we can subtract 18 minus 9, or 9. Last number, 63 divided by 9 is 7, and it's subtracted to 7, so we get 0. Notice we have 2 9s here, therefore we can say that the answer in number 2 should be 1 and 3. Question number 3. A community center is arranging a row of 6 benches for a music recital. Each bench is 60 inches long. The space between each pair of neighboring benches must be 36 inches. What is the expression to find the total length of space needed from the beginning of the first bench to the end of the last bench? So meaning from here to here. So I just created a figure for you to see it. So let's say the rectangle here is a bench. So there are 6 benches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the length of each bench is 60 inches. So we have 60 here. So then there are spaces in between the benches. And notice we have 5 spaces. And each must be 36. So we need to find the length, the distance from here to here. So in order to do that, all you have to do is to count how many benches. 6, and how long? 60 inches. Then we add the spaces. 5, and how long? 36. Then we just have to solve PEMDAS again. 6 times 60 is 360. 5 times 36 is 180. And that gives us 540 inches. Question number 4. Consider the following expressions. A. Absolute value of negative 2 is equal to absolute value of 2. Absolute value of negative 2 is just 2. Again, any number that is absolute, positive or negative, will always gives us positive. Absolute value of 2 is also 2. Therefore, 2 is equal to 2, and that is true. B. Quantity of absolute value of negative 8 plus 4 squared is greater than the quantity of absolute value of negative 30 minus 6. So absolute value of negative 8 is 8 plus 4 squared is 16. 8 plus 16 is 24. Then on the other side, absolute value of negative 30 is 30 minus 6 is 24. 24 is greater than 24 is not true. It should be equal. So it is not true. Letter C. 30 is less than the absolute value of 10 squared minus 4. So 10 squared is just 100 minus 4 or 96. 30 is less than 96 and it is true. D. The quantity of absolute value of negative 6 times 5 minus 3 is greater than quantity of 2 plus 28 divided by 7 plus 1. So first, absolute value of negative 6 is just 6. Then multiply by 5 to get 30. 30 minus 3 is 27. Next is this number first. 28 divided by 7 is 4. Then 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. 27 is greater than 7 is true. Therefore, the answer is A, C, and D. Question number 5. By the end of the third quarter of a football game, Marcus had gained 95 yards and had lost 15 yards. If Marcus lost an additional of 10 yards and gained 18 yards in the fourth quarter, which equation could be used to represent his total yardage for the game? First is to find the keywords, and here we have gained. Gained is positive, lost is negative, meaning we have two gained values, 95 and 18. So 95 plus 18 gives us 113. Lost is 15 and lost again is 10. So negative 15 and negative 10 should be negative 25. And that's the number we have to subtract from 113. That is why we have 113 minus 25, and it gives us 88. Therefore, the final answer should be 88 yards. Question number 6. The lowest point in Africa is Lake Assal in Djibouti, which is 155 meters below sea level. And the highest point is Mount Kilimanjaro, which rises 5,895 meters above sea level. What is the difference in elevation in meters between Mount Kilimanjaro and Lake Assal? So first is you look for the values and the key words. So we have here 155 meters, and the keyword here is below. Below means negative, so it is negative 155. Next is which rises above. Above is positive. Above is positive. So then we need to find the difference, meaning we have to subtract between Mount Kilimanjaro and Lake Assal. So we have 5,895 minus negative 155. And notice negative and negative is just positive. Negative times negative is positive. That is why we have to plus them. Or negative change to additive inverse, positive plus negative becomes plus. KCC, keep change and change. So we have plus 155. So all we have to do is to add them. And that gives us 6,050 meters. Question number 7. Jasmine walks down 6 flights of stairs. Each flight has 10 steps. Which describes Jasmine's descent? What describes Jasmine's descent? So down is negative word. It's negative 6. Negative 6 times how many steps? 10 steps. And that gives us negative 60. Question number 8. Order the integers from least to greatest. Least means the smallest value from small to big or going up. So the least value here is negative 13. Next to negative 13 is negative 9, then negative 5, then negative 1, then 0, then 13. And lastly, we have 45. So just order them from least to greatest. Question number 9. Write and solve an equation to find the value of x. So this is our figure. This is a vertical angles. And vertical angles are equal. So 90 minus x is equal to 86. So first step, you move the constant to the other side and change the symbol positive to negative. Then evaluate this one. 86 minus 90 is negative 4. Then bring down negative 2. Then we have to remove negative 2 because we only need x. So we divide by negative 2 and negative 2 on the other side too. Cut or simplify it. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2. Therefore, we can say that x is equal to 2. If we are going to evaluate that, 2 times your x, that is 2, means 4. So 90 minus 4 is indeed 86. So they should be equal. Question number 10. Write and solve an equation to find the value of x. So we have the figure given here. A, B, C. So we have from ABD is 80 degrees. DBC is 4x. And notice ABC, angle ABC is 128. So what we're going to do is to collect these values and equate it to 128. That is why we have AD plus 4x is equal to 128. Then again, look at the constant. Move to the other side. So make it negative. 128 minus 80, it gives us 48. Then bring down 4x. 4x, we remove 4 because we only need x. And cut it. So do the same on the other side. 48 divided by 4. Got it? And then we have the value of x is equal to 12. Question number 11. Identify the name of the following angles. So we have 3 angles, the basic ones: acute, right, and obtuse. Acute angles are angles that are less than 90 degrees. In this case, we have this angle. These are acute. So we name it as POS. or SOP. It's okay. You can swap them. QOR or ROQ. That's acute. Next is right angle. A right angle has an angle that is equal to 90 degrees. So we have SOQ or QSO. Obtuse. Obtuse angles are angles that are more than 90 degrees. So in this case, we have POQ and SOR. Again, you can swap it QOP or ROS. Question number 12. A beam makes an angle 65 degrees with the ground. Find the measure of the angle the beam makes with the wall. So we have a figure here, wall and ground, 65 degrees. We know that this is a right triangle and this one is 90 degrees. And this one is missing the x. Remember, the triangle has a total of 180 degrees. So we have 90 plus 65 plus x is equal to 180. Then we add this first. 90 plus 65 is 155 plus x is equal to 180. Next, we move the constant. Then when we move, it turns to be negative. Then bring down x. 180 minus 55 is 25. Question number 13. If Q and R are supplementary and the measure of Q is 120, what is the measure of R? So we have Q plus R is equal to 180. Supplementary again is equal to 180, or straight line is equal to 180. So Q is 120 added to R, that gives us 180. Again, to find R, you have to move this constant so that we are going to subtract it from 180, and that gives us x is equal to 60. Question number 14. Classify the triangle below by its angles and its sides. So if you notice, we have 3 triangles here and they have these values here: 65, 68, and 47. Since they are less than 90 degrees, they are called acute. Then all angles have different values. Then scalene. Remember, acute is less than 90 degrees. Scalene, 3 different sides. In this case, we have different angles. Obtuse, isosceles. Why it is obtuse? So don't mind the drawing here. It seems like acute, looks like acute, but it has a big number here. So it's just an illustration. Just look at the angles given. So we have 106, that is more than 90, that is obtuse. And we can say it is obtuse when at least one angle is more than 90 degrees. We have 237, meaning 2 sides here are equal. And that means it is an isosceles. So this triangle is called obtuse isosceles. The third one is having this square again. And this one gives us an idea that this is 90 degrees. And 90 degrees is right. There are 2 different angles. 32 and 58. And notice it's also 90 here, meaning 3 different angles. And if they are not equal, that are not equal angles or sides, they are called scalene. So this is a right scalene. Question number 15. Find the missing measure of the given triangle. We have triangle ABC, and we have angle A is 35, angle B is 75, and missing angle C. Again, the total angles in a triangle is 180. So all we have to do is to write down like this way, since it seems like this is an x. So 35 plus 75 plus x is equal to 180. Combine these constants. 35 plus 75 is 110. Then move this one to the other side and subtract from 180. So 180 minus 110, it's 70. Number 16. Evaluate x cubed minus y squared if x is 11 and y is 9. X cubed or 11 cubed, y squared or 9 squared. 11 cubed is just 1,331. 9 squared is 81. So you subtract 81 from 1,331, and that gives us 1,250. Question number 17. The table shows the size in meters of 4 different microscopic items. Rank the items in order by size from smallest to largest, or the least to greatest value. So the smallest value here is the number that has greater negative number. So we have negative 10 here. Negative 10 is farther from 0 than the other numbers here. So number 1 is protein, negative 10, then negative 9, then negative 6, then negative 4. That's it. As simple as that. So the first one is protein, second is DNA strand, third is bacterium, fourth is pollen grain. Question number 18. Evaluate the quantity of m plus n to the power of negative 3 if m is negative 3 and n is negative 2. So we have these values, negative 3 plus negative 2 to the power of negative 3. So we focus on the inside values first. PEMDAS, parenthesis, negative 3 plus negative 2 is negative 5. And negative 5 still to the power of negative 3. To change it to positive, we have to switch it down. So this seems like we have over 1. So 1 goes up and this value goes down. Now the exponent is already positive. But then we still have to evaluate them. The negative 5 power of 3 is just negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. Negative 5 and negative 5 is positive 25. Then we multiply again to negative 5. That gives us negative 125. The final answer is negative 1 over 125. Question number 19. Swimming pool X holds 3 to the power of 23 gallons of water. Swimming pool Y holds 3 to the power of 21 gallons of water. How many times as many gallons does pool X hold than pool Y? So we are comparing X and Y. So we have to divide them. So 3 to the power of 23, that is X, over or divided by 3 to the power of 21. So you have noticed that we have the same base. Now if we have the same base, all we have to do is to move the exponent up and make it negative. Or in other words, we have to subtract the exponent. 23 minus 21 is equal to 2. Then we have 3 power of 2 is equal to 9. Question number 20. There are 2.78 times 10 to the power of 22 molecules in a drop of water. How many molecules are in 1,000 drops of water? So then we could say that 1,000 drops of water is just 1 times 10 to the power of 3, or 10 power of 3. So all you have to do is to multiply these numbers. 2.78 times 10 to the power of 22 times 10 to the power of 3. Actually, you just have to focus on the exponent. Since they have the same base, 10 to the power of 3, you just have to combine them. 22 plus 3 is just 25. So the final answer is 2.78 times 10 to the power of 25. Question number 21. A cube-shaped storage container has a side length of 8 cube centimeters. Liam has several small cube-shaped toys, each with a side length of 2 centimeters. Part A. Write an expression for the volume of one block and the volume of the box. So let's say the first one here is the volume of the box, or the container box. So that is, I just name it S1, or side 1, is equal to 8 cube. Remember, a box has a volume of S cube. If our S is 8 cube, then 8 cube is multiplied to the power of 3. 8 cube to the power of 3. So V1, since it's S1, so the volume 1 first here is 8 to the power of 3 to the power of 3 again. So meaning you have to distribute this one, right? 8 to the power of 3 times m to the power of 3 times 3. So we have 8 times 8 times 8. 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Times 8 is 512. That is why we have 512. M, 3 times 3 is just 9. So 512 M9. Next is 2M. S2 is 2M. So volume 2 is 2m to the power of 3. Again, distribute the 2 to the power of 3. 2 times 2 times 2, not 2 times 3. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Then 1, this is, seems like you have 1. 1 times 3 is 3. So we have 8m power of 3, or 8m cubed. Part B. If m is equal to 2, how many blocks will fit in a box? So this is the box over the blocks, right? So our box is 512. When we put all the blocks, we have to divide them by 8. So 512 m power of 9 over 8 m power of 3. Then separate the constant, 512 over 8. Then same base, m and m, so meaning you just have to subtract the exponent. 9 minus 3. So then 512, you cut this one out. This gives us 64. So we have 64 m. 9 minus 3 is 6. So that is why we have 64 m power of 6. But it's not finished yet. We need to find the value if m is equal to 2. So we have to equate m, change m to 2. 64 times 2 to the power of 6, or 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That is 64. Meaning 64 times 64 is 4096. Question number 22. Ava, Noah, and Mia work as cashiers at a local grocery store. They have different levels of experience, so they earn different hourly rate. The table shows each person's hours worked last week and their total earnings. Part A. Find the hourly rate earned by each cashier. So we have 3 cashiers here, Ava, Noah, and Mia. Ava earned 207. She worked 23 hours. So all we have to do is to divide 207 by 23. So do the math, it's $9 per hour. Noah worked 144 at 18 hours and earned 144. So 144 divided by 18 is $8 per hour. Mia worked 30 hours and earned 300. So 30 or 300 divided by 30, it gives us $10 per hour. Part B. Which of the cashier has the most years of experience? Which has the fewest years of experience? There are 2 answers here. So Mia has the most experience since she earns the highest, and Noah has the fewest experience since he earns the least. Question number 23. An art supply shop sells paint brushes for 90 baht and paint sets for 150 baht each. Write an expression for the total cost of 4 paint brushes and 5 paint sets. So we need 4 paint brushes. So 4 times 90 baht. Then 5 paint sets, 5 times 50. That's it. Letter B. What is the total cost of these art supplies? So all you have to do is to multiply them, then add. 4 times 90 is 360. 5 times 150 or 750. 360 plus 750 is 1,110 baht. Question number 24. Sports. While playing racquetball, Tam bounced the ball off the wall at the angle shown. Determine the measure of angle A. So here you can see there is a straight line. And we know that a straight line is 180 degrees, or a total of 180 degrees. So meaning all these values are going to be added and is equal to 180 degrees. So 4x minus 19 plus 58 plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 180. Then we're going to add the same term. So we have 4x plus 3x is just 7x. Add the coefficient. 4 plus 3 is 7. Then copy the variable. 7x minus, or constants, 58 plus 1 is 59. 59 minus 19 is 40. So we have left over 40 is equal to 180. Now remove the constant and move to the other side. So that changes the symbol. Negative 40 is subtracted from 180, and that gives us 140. So we just copy and paste here. 7x is equal to 140. We need x only, so we have to remove 7. Cut 7 divided by 7 on both sides. So we have x that is equal to 20. Now we have x, but still we need to find the angle A. Angle A is 3x plus 1. 3x plus 1. And x is 20, so 3 times 20. 3 times 20 is 60 plus 1, that is why we have 61. So the answer here in number 24 is 61. Question number 25. M and N are supplementary. The measure of angle M is 8x and the measure of angle N is 20 degrees. Then find the value of x. So the keyword here is supplementary. Supplementary here is 180. Therefore, angle M plus angle N is equal to 180. Angle M plus angle N is equal to 180 because it is a supplementary angle. So 8x plus 20 is equal to 180. Then you move 20 to the other side to subtract from 180. Then we have left over 8x is equal to 80 minus 20 is 160. Then we need to remove 8, so we divide by 8. That is x is equal to 20. How do we get 20? 160 divided by 8 is 20. Then, what is the measure of angle M? Our angle M is 8x. So all we have to do is to write 8x, where x is 20. So then 8 times 20 is 160.